Hi, welcome to Mercurious Being. I am Amy Jensen, and I am here with the Astro update for the Gemini new moon, which will be exact on June 17th at 11:37 p.m. Central Time. So this is the chart, and again, as always, depending on where you are in the world, it may be oriented differently house-wise. So, basically, I'm going to talk about the sun and moon in Gemini over here at 26 degrees Gemini. Talk a little about Venus and Mars close in the heavens, and Neptune having a nice tight square to the lunation. 0 degrees applying 55 minutes. So that's kind of the lay of the land. And so I just got this sense of, Gemini, of course, is the masculine side of the Vishuddha chakra, the throat chakra. It's the area that we're gathering information, communicating. It's all about perception. It's all about connecting, bringing this and that together. It's all about speech and the physiology of speech. It's about analytical thinking, left brain type activities, but really it's a lot about experiential learning. So these are things on the daily that we gain experience and information from, firsthand experience and information from. So this lunation is in the area of the heavens, as far as the Vedic chart would go, of Mriga Shirsha, the deer head, and the overlying energy of that area of the heavens is like a forest animal or a deer searching and gathering. And what they're searching for is nourishment, soma, which is juice or sap or liquid. Nourishment, there's a sense of it being delightful and delicious. Of course, soma is also the name for the legendary elixir that grants eternal youth. Okay, so soma or amrita or rasa, and rasa also means taste. So we're in the area of the heavens that's Gemini, but it also has a Taurus overlay. And I don't recall because I didn't watch my last video myself, but I believe I was in the Taurus energy, but talking about the Gemini and the mercurial effect or overlay of that energy. And now here we are, the sun is in the heavens in Gemini. We are actually at this lunation nearly into the summer solstice, which I'll come back for that video. So clearly and very firmly planted in Gemini, however, still having this energy and energy and overlay of Taurus, and the ruler of Taurus is Venus. So as we're experiencing, there's this sense of, again, taste and enjoyment. And let's see if I had anything else about that. Being in the world, but not of the world. But while we're in the world, enjoying the world, there's an energy of breath. There's this energy of interchanges of the gases with the lungs. There are 2 lungs in the body. Anything that there are 2 of in the body is very ruled by Gemini. Nerves, the crisscrossing of things, the connecting of things, the breeze outside, and the feeling of the breeze on the skin, that sensation, that sense of touch, which also brings us back into Taurus a bit. but the sense of the breeze and the air and objects being acted upon, air or wind, sense of movement. So leaves and plants and grasses, the movement from the air. The element for the Vishuddha chakra is the ether element, and ether is in everything and surrounds everything. So in this time, in this Gemini vibe, we're sensing into ourself, as ourself, and as the individual experiences and perceptions that we have as this person in space and time right now, right here. But at the same time, ether is everywhere and in everything. And so there's also this energy with the square to Neptune and Pisces of being this individual experiencing an experiential being in space and time in the broader cosmic waters of the all. So the sense of perception, sense of your senses, the nerves, messages, communication. The communication from in here and in here to out there, from your experience, your individual experience, to the experience that everyone is having. And then communicating between self and other to understand, to grow a greater understanding, to build a basis of greater understanding through communication and exchange of information. Hermes, Mercury, rules meeting places and crossroads, the herms, where they'd stack the stones at crossroads, so indicating a place where people would meet and exchange information or exchange goods, like marketplaces. And not only for the marketplace value of exchanging this for that, but also broadening one's understanding. If someone came from another land and you're in your land and you met at the crossroads and you gained this understanding, but the understanding was from an individual person's perspective. And then, of course, we build upon that perspective, and when we get into Sagittarius, and that Sagittarius, of course, is more standardized and unified belief system. But in Gemini, it's all about the individual experiences and perceptions. So there's a sense of this mind-boggling nature of connectivity. So literally, as I'm sitting here on my porch, breathing this beautiful air, I am breathing the same air as you, no matter where you are in your part of the earth. We're all connected, and we're all sharing this experience through our lungs, through our breath, through the trees. I think of the air movement through the trees, and the trees being the lungs of the earth. But then, of course, we could think about getting down into the roots, and I'll talk a little bit about that with Neptune and Pisces. So in Gemini, we're experiencing ourselves as different than, separate from, learning about, and experiencing the nature of life. We're searching and we're gathering, just like the deer, the mriga. We're opening our eyes to the wonderment of the experiences and the possibilities. The idea of picking your own adventure. I got this image of, my kids used to have these books when they were little. I can't remember the names of them, but you could pop to a different page to choose the different ending or choose a different fork in the road of the story. So really giving ourselves free rein to choose our own story, to choose our own ending. and kind of coming into this clarity that this is your experience and you do have a choice, and the purity of that experience, kind of the unadulterated version of your life, is the one that you're experiencing day to day. Okay. Mercury is in Gemini at this lunation, adding its energy and that Gemini Mercury vibe. So the Mercury is rising in the morning above and before the sun. So really lighting the day with the energy of wisdom and reason and discovery. So choosing your adventure consciously as the Mercury, the mind in Gemini, going forth and experiencing, writing your own story, not allowing it to be written by someone else, written for you by some sad adaptation of a poorly written novel or whatever the current storyline is. Okay? That just because we're born into a certain time doesn't mean we need to pick up the storyline of that time. Again, choose your own adventure. Be enlivened with the experience and choice. And there is always choice, no matter how deeply one is in a certain karmic situation. We really do always have the choice and the ability to not react to the karmic situations that we're experiencing. Karma happens, situations happen, and then again, that choice is how we react to it. And the simplest and easiest way, and the subtlest way, to change the map of your experience is to change your breath. Just choosing a calming, gentle breath, a very simple breath practice, can literally change your biology. You change that, change the way you react. Everything is then possible. Literally changing the chemical makeup of your body. So let's just do like a 1-minute breath practice. If you're driving, don't close your eyes, obviously, or just pause the tape, and you could do it at home if you'd like. But just take a moment to just close your eyes, relax your forehead, relax your jaw, the tongue, the throat. And just let those shoulders release down, shoulder blades releasing down the back body. And just feel those shoulder blades falling down the back body to the tip of the spine, the tip of the tailbone. And again, just a simple breath practice, just allowing those exhalations to continue relaxing the throat, the jaw, the tongue. And just noticing the breath coming in and out through the nose. Don't try to change the breath. Just notice it rolling in. And just noticing the breath rolling out of the body. Nothing you have to do to the breath, just noticing it. And as you notice the breath, you might notice where it moves easily. You might notice areas that are not responding to the breath as well. And again, no judgment, just noticing. If you'd like to take the next step with the breath practice, just allow the breath to maybe lower down into the abdomen. The low abdomen rising and falling in the low abdomen. And just maybe noticing how that allows you to relax a little bit more. Just easing that breath into the lower part of the body. And as you're noticing the breath, if you practice this longer, You might notice certain thoughts or feelings arise, different awarenesses, and different sensations. And again, not judging anything that arises, just noticing. And as you notice those thoughts, feelings, sensations that arise, allow yourself to go back into noticing your breath, rising and falling, very simply. And then releasing away from the breath and just coming back into your center. And wherever center might be to you, whenever I said center, it might have been your heart center, it could be your abdomen, anywhere in your body that you just feel back at home. And just noticing yourself at this center. This sense of simple being, easy, relaxed, whole and complete, just as you are. And then when you're ready, opening up your eyes, coming back again. And again, this simple breath practice, we went a few minutes there, but even just a minute of slowing down and coming into your natural gentle breath and just noticing it can do a world of good for you and allow you to come back into your perceptions, your feelings, your experiences, and just allows you to kind of release all of the other stuff that might come up, that might be around you, some thought form that's bumping up against your experience. And at this time, at this Gemini new moon, Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, the big water dragon of Ahir Budhnya, the water dragon, the sky, Ahi, the cosmic air, the Budhnya, bound to the root, at the root of the cosmic sky. It's a powerful snake or dragon that holds the entire cosmos in place. It's the dragon of the deep, dwells at the bottom of the ocean. And again, it's a water dragon, so it has this depth to it. It also has a sense of fertility and beauty and quietude and calm, a sense of introspection, and even a loneliness or sense of being separate and private from the world. And I will link the source for this material, DiCara's 27 Stars. So at this time, as I was preparing for this, I'm thinking Gemini, again, it's light, it's airy, it's connection, it's quick, it's thought, it's experience. But at the same time, there was this sense of that Neptune in Pisces and that water dragon. So really having this sense of our individual experience really being rooted down into the cosmos and the world as we are in it. So allowing that quietude and that sense of introspection, also a sense of that Piscean kind of transformation from this realm to the next, kind of an otherworldliness. So again, which is again at conflict, it's a square to this Gemini energy, but really giving us an insight into the air element. As you can tell, there's a lot of movement going on, but then being submerged in this, cosmic air, and then bringing ourselves down into the root, into the depths of the ocean. So it's a great time for gathering, right? There's a lot of ripeness, a lot of fertility, a lot of opportunity. Venus is active in this lunation. It's just, she's in Leo, 5 degrees away from Mars. She's got just a semi-square to both the sun and the moon, but it's tight. It's 26 minutes separating. Venus sextiles Mercury, conjuncting Mars, squaring Jupiter, and a square and a half to Neptune. So she is definitely playing in this. She is a part of this. She's in Leo. So she is showing up and showing out, honey, saying and reminding us, like, hey, this should be fun. This should be heart-centered, joyful, creative, passionate, and maybe right now a little over the top and slightly materialistic. Materialistic in the sense of Venus needing to shine. She needs to play. She needs to be creative. She needs the spotlight. She needs the stage. She is adorned in her vestments and reminding you to make an investment in yourself. For each of us, whatever gender we are, the feminine part of us, that Venusian quality. She just had her max evening elongation on June 4th, furthest from the sun as an evening star. Did I say max morning? Max evening elongation. And from Adam Gainsbourg, this is the beginning of her wholeness phase. And Venus in her wholeness phase is, we stand in our own sovereignty and commitment to serving life in our own unique way. So how are we showing up and showing out? What vestments are we adorning ourselves with? What are we playing and creating in this world? What are we showing to others? Venus is in the Ajna chakra. The sun, moon, and Mercury are in the throat chakra. Then we have Neptune in Pisces in the sacral chakra. So we did the simple breath meditation. Maybe I'll come back on and do a 3 or 4 part breath. Guided breath meditation, just allowing yourself to have a full body breath. So all the way up to the Ajna chakra, to really the crown of the head, and then all the way down to the sacral chakra, letting that pelvis rock back and forth, responding to the breath. And of course we have Pluto in Capricorn at the root, and Pluto's at the edge, the leading edge of this whole configuration, but only really has a tie into Neptune, and that's just ongoing long-term aspect to Neptune. So really just allowing ourselves to root down into this experience. So again, just being in the world and being of the world in the sense of loving the world and all the experiences it offers. Enjoy this experience, embody it, breathe it, and be it. Figure it out as you go along and find your own symbolic signatures, your own stories and experiences. your own hot take on what's going on. Search, gather, and nourish. Enliven yourself. Feel your own circuitry and systems come on board in your own unique fashion. Gathering your experiences and connections as vestments around your sacred self. And walk gently, continuing to honor each breath and each exchange. Having this sense of the preciousness in the particulars, while simultaneously having the sense of the permeability of the particulars into that vast sense of cosmic allness, the heights of the cosmic air to the very roots of the bottom of the ocean. Inhaling and exhaling. And again, you can freeze frame every moment, but just remind yourself that the rhythm always continues. Inhaling and exhaling. And at the center of that is always you. Namaste. I will see you again next time.